You do like anything connected to Queen Victoria?
Just like what they've given us. I know people say it's crap, but it's actually what's made the country it is.
Yes, right. Now then, Charlie, talk to me about the object that's in this box, which is very rare, very unusual. I've never heard of anything like it. It's a American Confederate connection.
Correct.
Royal connection, Queen Victoria, our heroine.
Yeah.
It's a Royal Confederate trophy. But you've pretty much just discovered. Tell our viewers all about it.
Before I say anything, David, the bacon and egg sandwiches are coming in a minute, and we're stopping for those. It's 7:30 in the morning.
We will be.
Jolly come.
Yeah, we will be.
Anyhow, this has just arrived.
Go on.
To give you, before we look at it, just to give you a little bit of insight to what attracted me, which was a bit unusual. The name Pleydell-Bouverie is involved with this cup.
Pleydell-Bouverie.
Yeah, she's a local family,
right.
Grandmother to Lord Montague, and Pearl Pleydell-Bouverie, who was the most lovely lady, was one of my mother's best friends.
No.
So that's what attracted me to the cataloguing to start with, and then I got more involved and thought, oh my goodness, this is an absolute banger.
Okay. It's a banger, all right. I've seen what's inside. Wait until you see this. But we've got lots of American viewers, and I think they'll be interested. It's history. You know, the American Civil War.
History.
It's history. We love history.
Cannot cancel history.
Don't cancel history.
Don't cancel history.
Not on my channels, Charlie.
It is what we are and why we are.
Exactly. Exactly. Okay. So
good and bad.
Good and bad. Yeah. And it's what makes us who you are, right? Who we are today. Okay. People will be watching this saying that's a delicious box, and it really is. That's the original box. And first of all,
nicely grilled.
Grilled.
Delicious.
Delicious. Exactly. Good one. I'm going to use that in future. All of the red wax marks indicate what?
Importance.
Yeah.
Belonged to someone important.
Yeah.
And it's travelled.
Right.
So they would have sealed it when it was travelled.
Yeah.
And then broken the seal when it destination arrival. To
make sure that thieving hands didn't go in and take the valuable object. Okay. Talking of valuable objects, can you please reveal it while I slurp my tea?
Original box, everyone. Lots of seals, lots of travelling paper. If this was on a Louis Vuitton trunk, we'd be getting really excited.
Yeah, you would.
No initials on the top, but inside we have what remains of the Rundell Bridge and Rundell label.
Who were the makers?
Top maker.
Yeah.
Not 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10.
London makers?
London maker.
Yeah.
And then we reveal it. Just to start. Look at this silver gilt and work.
Let me just stop it, Charlie.
Really is lovely.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
That is
feast your eyes on that.
And that is, there's no rubbing.
No.
How have they kept that so neat? Because its date is what? What date is it?
The cup's actually company covers 1828.
1828.
And gifted.
Yes.
To a particular gentleman in 1838 on his christening.
By a particular queen.
By a particular queen.
Okay.
So, here we go.
Goodness gracious me.
So don't drop it. It's early in the morning, Dave. So here we have a delicious cup.
Yeah.
As I said, made by the royal makers, Rundell Bridge and Rundell.
Yeah.
Almost certainly in the royal collection.
Yes.
Because it was gifted by Queen Victoria personally to her first godson in 1838. So you have a cup made in 1828.
Yeah.
Gifted in 1838 with his name gifted to Buckley, Victor Buckley in 1838. So it must have been in the royal collection.
It's got and it has the royal coat of arms on there.
Here we go. Royal coat of arms. Nothing better.
Okay.
So I can't believe she told one of her valets, but she might have to go and buy this cup. I think it was in the collection.
Yeah.
She then gifted it to this young man. And the reason being is that General Buckley and I think it was Catherine Buckley were in the royal service. So, as I said, you have 1828 cup made by the best of the best.
Yeah. Original
box. Gifted to Victor Buckley, her first godson.
Yes.
1838.
Right.
She just didn't send someone out to buy a beautiful cup. But she might have, but I almost certainly would have been in the royal collection.
Yes.
It's a maybe, but I think it's likely that it was. But either way, Queen Victoria gifted this to her godson, Victor Buckley. Victor Buckley's father was her equerry for 20 years.
Right.
General Buckley, and Catherine was her personal, I don't know what the correct terminology is, but
like a lady in waiting.
Lady in waiting.
Yes.
For 20 years. So
great
friendships.
Wow. Okay.
So this was gifted to this young man. What a present! So
yes.
Here's my present from Queen Victoria.
Yeah. And this spent his whole life with him, because this was probably one of the most important objects he'd ever owned.
Absolutely.
Throughout his whole life. And he came from, obviously, the aristocracy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, as a lady in waiting.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier on, she was related, and it came through the Pleydell-Bouverie family.
Right.
Who were Lord Montague's, get this right, I get very mixed up here. Pearl Pleydell-Bouverie was Lord Montague, Edward Montague's great-grandmother.
Right.
And it goes back from there. And that's the original attraction. But our friend Mr. Buckley, brought up in a typical way, would have gone to an academy or into the military. Yeah. Turned out to be a right royal scallywag.
Right.
And I like scallywags.
I like scallywags.
I like scallywags. And he basically turned into a spy.
For whom?
The Confederates.
During the American Civil War.
Correct.
Right.
So, as I understood it, and from our research, and please bear with me if I get this wrong, because I'm trying to use the poor old grey cells at 7:30 in the morning, well, and there aren't many left.
you can read your iPad, because I've looked at the story. It's a very long story. So
yeah, but briefly, he came up through the ranks and worked in the civil service in London, and it's pretty much, well, it isn't thought, it's known that he was sending information over to the Confederates without anyone knowing, as a spy, and managed to, within the circles that he was in, have a ship called the USS Alabama, ordered in London and built in the UK to go and fight over in America. Right. But as I understand it, he then told the Confederates, and the ship either got pirated, but anyway, it ended up being on the wrong side. Okay,
because of his direct information to the Confederate Army.
The Alabama was a mighty big fighting ship and did a huge amount of damage. And there were reparations after the war to the Republicans.
Yes.
For about $15.5 million US.
So the British had to pay reparations because their man, unbeknown to them, was a spy for the Confederates. Yeah. So the poor old Brits got nailed.
Yeah, we got absolutely nailed. In modern terminology, we got shafted.
We did.
But you can hide away from the truth and pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah.
But all of that makes it more exciting to me. I hate the man thought he did, and the people that would have lost their lives.
Well, because it was treasonous, of course, wasn't it?
Totally, he should have hung, but he didn't.
Well, why didn't he hang?
Well, I'm guessing, as ever, that everyone closed ranks a little bit.
Okay.
And it all got pushed under the carpet.
Yeah.
And he came through probably with a knighthood, but I don't believe he did. But he didn't hang.
Right.
So you might, and a lot of people say, well, why on earth are you buying that? And the reason I bought it is, one, the connection to the Pleydell-Bouverie,
which is your family connection.
Yeah, my mother's friend. But that was the original attraction. But when you look at the quality, it was made by the top maker. It was given by, in my view, one of the greatest women the planet's ever seen. Mm. And then you got this spy thriller. We all watch spy. We all love James Bond and all that. It's got it all. It's got intrigue. It's got naughtiness. It's got scallywagness. It's got it all. Why wouldn't you want to own it?
No, exactly.
And there's plenty of people still on the Confederate side that will think that's just fantastic.
Of course they will.
And as I've said many times, two sides to a story. And without two sides, there is no story.
So true, Jolly. But how much is this Royal Confederate Cup worth? There you go. 22,000. Thanks for watching.